Mazumdar of class 10 is standing in front of you to let you know about some activities which can inculcate our reading skills. As we are gathered here to know some facts regarding Storytelling Day, it is a worldwide celebration. The goal of this event is to celebrate the art of storytelling with as many people as possible, as it is very much necessary to improve our reading skills, to have a strong reading abilities which can enable us to interpret. So here are some activities. Activity 1. Set aside time to read every day. One of the most effective ways to build our skills is to practice. We can read news articles, magazines, etc. Activity 2. Previewing the text we read. Previewing and scanning over text can be another step towards improving our skills. We can apply this strategy by previewing titles, captions, headlines, and other text features. Activity 3. Determine the purpose. As we read through different texts, practice determining the purpose. Think about why various texts were written and what meanings or themes can be understood from a text. Activity 4. Apply key reading strategies. As we read different texts, we can apply several key strategies to help ourselves to increase our comprehension. Activity 5. Set reading goals. We can set reading goals for ourselves to help us to develop a wider vocabulary, gain a deeper understanding of different texts, and improve our ability to make connections between things we read. I hope that this was useful as well as informative for you all. Thank you and have a marvelous day ahead.
Respected teachers and my dear friends, I am Roman Ahmed from class 4 standing in front of you to deliver the story, the occasion of National Storytelling Day. So here I start. The name of the story is
Loudly.
The Shepherd Boy.
लाउडली हाँ जोर से बोल
Once upon a time, there was a shepherd boy who prayed for because of the wise answers he gave to every question. The king of the country heard of it but did not believe it and called the boy. The king said, "If you can give me answers to 3 questions, I will look on you as my own child and you shall stay with me in my royal palace." "What are the 3 questions?" the king said. "The first is, how many drops of water are there in the ocean?" The boy answered, "Lord King, if you will have all the rivers on earth dammed up so that not a single drop runs from the dam into the sea until I have counted it, I will tell you how many drops there are in the sea." The king said, "The next question is, how many stars are there in the sky?" The shepherd said, "Give me a large sheet of white paper." And then he made so many 5 points on it with a pen that it was impossible to count them. Then he said, "There are as many stars in the sky as there are points on the paper. Just count them." But no one was able to do it. The king said, "The third question is, how many seconds of time are there in eternity?" Then said the shepherd boy, "In Lower Pomerania is the Diamond Mountain, which is 2 miles high, 2 miles wide, and 2 miles deep. Every 100 years, a little bird comes and sharpens its beak on it, and when the sea wears the whole mountain away, then the first second of eternity will be over." The king said, "You have answered like a wise man. You can dwell with me in my royal palace as my own child." So dear friends, what have we learned from this story? The moral of the story is our success will be determined by our own confidence and fortitude. Thank you.
Karmaka from class 9 standing in front of you to tell a story about Krishna and Kalia. So here it goes. Lord Krishna, an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, resided in Vrindavan many years ago. He was well known among the villagers for his bright smile, mischievous antics, and his fondness for homemade butter, also known as Makhan. The Kalia serpent was one of the most well known demons that Lord Krishna had punished. We have probably seen images of Lord Krishna and Kalia in temples or stories, but the actual story begins like this. One sunny day, Kalia and his friends were playing with a ball near the banks of Yamuna river. Suddenly, they heard some villagers shouting for help at some distance. Krishna and his friends ran towards them. Help, help. My son accidentally slipped into the river, a woman said terrified. And then Krishna asked, "What's the matter?" as he ran towards them. "You don't know, Kalia, Nag," exclaimed a villager. He is a huge venomous snake who used to reside in the banks of Ramanaka Dvipa. However, he was forced to leave the place because of his fear of Guruda, the mount of Lord Shiva. He knows that Guruda is cursed by a sage and that he cannot enter Vrindavan. Hence, he was chosen this place. But during this, Krishna was busy observing the water. The water turned black as the effect of Kalia's venom. Then, without a second thought, Krishna jumped into the river to save the boy and teach Kalia a lesson. As soon as he entered the water, the Kalia holding the boy in his tail. Leave the little boy, Kalia. There's no point in harming a harmless child. I'm here to teach you a lesson. Krishna warned Kalia. So you are here to teach me a lesson, said Kalia, mocking Krishna very well. So let's see what you have to offer. He then freed the boy. He grabbed Krishna with his massive body, but Krishna freed himself. He stood on his head while holding his tail, then began to play the flute and starting performing his cosmic dance. Krishna then gathered all the weight of the entire universe in his feet and crushed Kalia underneath. At this point, Kalia realized that Krishna was not just an ordinary boy, but he was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Kalia was about to die under the weight when his wives came and started begging Krishna to forgive him. Hey Lord Krishna, we are sorry that we could not recognize you earlier, and what you have done was wrong. He promised not to do anything like this